Men, listen up. I've got a critical question that most of you over 50 are too tired, too stressed, or too embarrassed to ask. Where did the fire go? I'm talking about that automatic, no doubt about it, morning power you used to rely on, the reliable energy, the mental clarity, and yes, the absolute certainty of performance. If your body is sending you signals, a little less drive, a little more fatigue, and mornings that feel unreliable, you are about to discover the one tiny, consistent thing you can change today to fight back. Welcome to Men's Vital Health. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and as a urologist, I've seen thousands of men struggle with this exact issue. They blame age, they blame stress, they blame their jobs. But what if the answer wasn't a prescription, but a simple upgrade to the one daily ritual you never miss? You're already drinking coffee. It's your engine's morning start button. But after 50, that basic caffeine jolt is actually failing your system. It gives you a spike, then a crash, and does nothing for the deep, underlying issues that really matter after 50. In fact, that sharp spike and crash often makes the fatigue worse. So before we talk about what to add, we have to understand what we're fighting. We've established the enemy: stiff arteries, sugar damage, and hormonal fatigue. It sounds overwhelming, but the truly amazing news is that nature has provided the exact molecular compounds needed to fight back on all three fronts. We don't need exotic, complex supplements. We need simple, daily consistency. And it all starts with the first of our 5 powerful upgrades, the one that tackles the silent killer of all male vitality: unstable blood sugar. So cinnamon has given us our defensive shield. It's protecting those tiny arteries from the sandpaper effect of high sugar. But protection isn't enough. We need to actively open the floodgates. That's where our second ingredient comes in. If nitric oxide is the master switch for blood flow, then this next powder is the hand that flips that switch, boosting circulation and your mood simultaneously. Maca has worked on the subtle, deep language of your hormonal control system, telling your body to signal for more vitality. Now that the engine is ready to run, we have to give it the premium fuel it needs. Because, gentlemen, let me be crystal clear. If you've been starving your body of good fats, you've been starving your ability to produce hormones. We've covered the 5 pillars: the blood sugar regulator, the NO booster, the hormone signaler, the premium fuel, and the circulation rocket fuel. Now you're probably thinking, Dr. Carter, I can't turn my kitchen into a chemistry lab every morning. And you'd be right. The biggest mistake is trying to do too much, too fast. This is where we shift from the what to the how, because consistency, not complexity, is the only path to reclaiming your fire. Chapter 1. The hidden reasons your basic coffee fails after 50. We've all felt that familiar jolt, the initial hit of caffeine that tells your brain, okay, we're awake now. But here's the uncomfortable truth I need you to understand. After you cross that invisible line, somewhere around your 50s, that basic cup of coffee stops being a sustainable engine starter and starts becoming what I call a Band-Aid on a broken pipe. Why does this happen? Why does a routine that worked for 30 years suddenly leave you wired, then weary, by 10 a.m.? It all comes down to 3 silent culprits that are systematically eroding your masculine vitality right beneath the surface. First, let's talk about blood flow. We know erections are a vascular event. Think of your arteries, particularly the incredibly tiny, fine vessels that feed your most essential tissue, as high-pressure tubing. When you were younger, these tubes were flexible, wide-open highways. The signal to open them comes from a key molecule called nitric oxide, or NO. But as the years accumulate, that endothelial lining, the inner surface of your arteries, gets damaged by years of inflammation and oxidative stress. As a result, your body's ability to produce that crucial nitric oxide drops by roughly half after the age of 50. Your plumbing is getting stiff, rusty, and unresponsive. When you slam your system with plain caffeine, you get a temporary circulation boost, yes, but you are not fixing the stiffness. You're just putting a powerful pump on a rusted pipe. That kind of short-term fix is exhausting and unsustainable. The second and perhaps most destructive culprit is poor metabolic control. If you've been relying on that caffeine spike, you're often also prone to the sugar spike, whether it's from hidden sugars in your diet or just a poorly regulated metabolism. When your blood sugar spikes and stays high, it literally causes a physical reaction called glycation. Imagine those sugar molecules turning your blood into thick, sticky syrup. This syrup then gums up your artery walls and, worse, acts like sandpaper on the smallest, most delicate blood vessels in your body. And guess which vessels are the first to go? That's right, the microvessels in your extremities, including those critical for performance. Your body is slowly but surely destroying the infrastructure required for reliable function. If your vessels are coated in this sugary residue, no pill in the world can make them open wide enough, reliably. And finally, we have the hormonal picture. Yes, testosterone naturally drops, but the real problem is acceleration, when stress, poor sleep, and nutrient deficiency starve your endocrine system. Your plain coffee only adds fuel to this fire. It activates your fight-or-flight system, pushing out more cortisol, which, over time, steals the precursors your body needs to make testosterone. It's like draining your savings account to pay for a daily sugar rush. What we need is a solution that addresses all three, that protects the arteries, stabilizes the metabolism, and gently encourages hormonal balance. We need to turn that morning ritual into an active daily repair system. So, how do we take back control? It's time to stop treating the symptoms and start upgrading the foundation. Let's look inside your kitchen cabinet for the 5 pillars of performance, 5 scientifically backed additions that transform your cup of coffee into premium fuel.
Chapter 2: The 5 Pillars of Performance, Your Coffee Upgrades. We're moving beyond diagnosis and into action. Think of your coffee cup not as a vessel for caffeine, but as the perfect, warm delivery system for highly targeted nutrients. These 5 additions are inexpensive, easily found, and they directly counteract the arterial, metabolic, and hormonal decline we just discussed. Let's begin with the first essential pillar, the ingredient that serves as the ultimate defensive shield against the silent killer, blood sugar damage. Pillar 1: Ceylon cinnamon, the arterial guardian. If there is one thing you must add to your coffee today to protect your long-term health, it's a pinch of cinnamon. But not just any cinnamon. You need to seek out Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon. The regular cassia variety found in most spice racks contains high levels of coumarin, which can be hard on your liver when consumed daily over time. Ceylon is safe, delicious, and effective. Here's the power play. Ceylon cinnamon is nature's best blood sugar regulator. By reducing the volatility of your glucose levels, it immediately cuts down on the production of those advanced glycation end products, AGEs, that gum up your arteries. I've seen studies show it can help drop fasting blood sugar by close to 30%. When your blood sugar is steady, you are giving those tiny, delicate blood vessels a chance to heal. You are literally smoothing out the sandpaper and turning that sugary syrup back into healthy, flowing blood. But it gives us an offensive benefit too. The compounds in cinnamon also possess a warming effect that gently promotes vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, by supporting the body's natural production of nitric oxide. So, you're getting 2 massive benefits: protection and promotion, all in one simple, fragrant 1/4 teaspoon. It stabilizes your energy throughout the morning. eliminating those harsh peaks and crashes that leave you reaching for cup number 2 by 10 a.m. This is the foundation upon which we build sustainable vitality. Pillar 2, unsweetened cocoa powder, the nitric oxide catalyst. Now that we've stabilized your sugar, we need to actively open the pipes. This is where a teaspoon of high-quality, unsweetened cocoa powder comes in. And I mean the dark stuff, the kind that looks almost black, not the sugary hot chocolate mix. The secret here lies in the concentration of flavonoids, specifically epicatechin and catechin. These molecules are incredibly powerful because they are the direct catalyst for nitric oxide, NO, production. Remember, your NO levels are down 50% after 50. Cocoa helps restore that critical signaling molecule, telling your blood vessels to relax, open wide, and allow for better blood flow, not just to your vital tissues, but everywhere. Think of the impact. Better circulation means better oxygen delivery to your brain, leading to mental clarity. It means better flow to your muscles for sustained energy. And yes, it means much better responsiveness in your arteries for those crucial morning situations. But cocoa gives you a crucial psychological edge too. It contains mood-boosting chemicals like anandamides, often called the body's bliss molecule, and phenylethylamine, PEA, a natural antidepressant. Half of performance is mental, and cocoa ensures you're not just physically ready, but you're feeling good and confident too. Plus, you get a solid dose of magnesium, a mineral absolutely vital for testosterone production that most men are deficient in. This transforms your coffee into a healthy hormone-supporting mocha. Pillar 3, Maca powder, the adaptogenic hormone whisperer. We've covered the vascular and metabolic shields. Now we focus on the central command system, hormones. Maca is perhaps the most misunderstood ingredient on this list. It is not a sudden performance enhancer like a drug. It's an adaptogen, a compound that helps your body adapt to stress and regulate its own systems. Hailing from the harsh, high-altitude Andes Mountains, maca has been used for thousands of years because of its unique ability to communicate with the hypothalamus and pituitary gland, the master controllers of your endocrine system. Maca doesn't add hormones to your body. It provides the rich signaling compounds needed to tell your body, hey, stress is down, let's optimize hormone production. This is a slow burn, but a deep repair. While it may take 2 to 3 weeks to notice a difference, men consistently report significant improvements in sustained energy, mental focus, and, critically, a return of desire and drive. This is the feeling of being switched back on that my patient, the teacher, described. Maca provides the internal resilience that allows your body to dedicate resources away from cortisol production and back towards vitality and testosterone synthesis. We've set the stage by regulating sugar, boosting flow, and whispering to the hormones. But no engine, no matter how tuned, can run without the right fuel. And for men over 50, that means upgrading the quality of your fats.
Pillar 4, coconut oil or MCT oil, the premium fuel source. For decades, we were collectively misled by the low-fat craze, believing that cutting fat was the key to health. The consequence for men was devastating. We starved the raw material needed to produce our most essential hormones. Gentlemen, let me remind you, testosterone is synthesized directly from cholesterol and good fats. If your diet is low in quality fats, your hormone production will suffer. This is why coconut oil, or its more concentrated derivative, MCT oil, medium-chain triglycerides, is a game changer when added to your morning routine. Coconut oil is about 60% MCTs, which are unique because, unlike other fats, they skip the lengthy digestive process and go straight to your liver where they are rapidly converted into usable energy known as ketones. It is truly premium fuel for your brain and body. By incorporating this good fat, you achieve a triple benefit. 1. Hormone support. You provide the foundational building blocks necessary for optimal testosterone synthesis, which over time helps push your levels back into a healthier range. 2. Sustained energy. The fat content acts as a time release mechanism for the caffeine. Instead of a sharp, jittery spike followed by a crash, the caffeine is absorbed slowly and steadily. This eliminates that frantic mid-morning hunger and keeps your focus locked in for hours. 3. Metabolic efficiency. The clean-burning ketone energy supports your metabolism and thyroid function, which are crucial for maintaining lean mass and overall energy output. A critical note on preparation. I have to stress this. Do not just stir coconut oil into your coffee. It will separate into an oily, frankly, disgusting slick on top. You must blend it. Use a high-speed blender, a small immersion blender, or even a handheld milk frother. This emulsifies the fat, creating a creamy, rich latte-like texture that makes your morning cup taste better than something you'd pay $6 for at a coffee shop. Start with half a teaspoon. If you've been low-fat, your body, specifically your gallbladder, needs time to adjust to processing the sudden influx of fat. Build up slowly to a full teaspoon for optimal effect. Pillar 5. Ginger, the circulation rocket fuel and anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Our final pillar is arguably the most potent for immediate physical sensation and long-term testicular health. Ginger. Whether you use a tiny slice of fresh grated ginger or a quarter teaspoon of high-quality powder, this stuff is rocket fuel for your microcirculation. Ginger contains powerful compounds called gingerols and shogals that are potent anti-inflammatories. Inflammation is the silent driver of so many age-related issues, from stiff joints to poor blood flow. Ginger tackles this head-on, opening blood vessels and promoting better flow throughout the entire system. You will feel this immediately as a gentle internal warmth, a smooth, energetic wake-up without the harsh shock. But the most compelling benefit for men over 50 is ginger's role as a testicular guardian. Think about the daily stresses your testicles face: prolonged sitting, tight clothing, and years of metabolic stress. The temperature regulation is crucial, and when they are chronically stressed or overheated, testosterone production plummets. Studies have demonstrated that ginger helps protect the testicles from this oxidative damage, resulting in significant, measurable increases in testosterone and even improved sperm motility over several months. It works by sending the right signals, including boosting luteinizing hormone, which tells your testicles, it's safe, get back to work. In your coffee, ginger provides the final exhilarating kick. For that immediate morning wake-up effect, I often recommend fresh ginger, as it contains volatile oils that give an instant circulation boost. So we have the complete arsenal. Cinnamon for metabolic defense, cocoa for vascular signaling, maca for hormonal balance, MCTs for premium fuel, and ginger for anti-inflammatory circulation. Now, the real question is, how do you take these 5 powerful concepts and turn them into a simple and sustainable daily habit without getting overwhelmed? It's time to talk about the implementation mindset and the real-life stories of men who made this work. Chapter 3. The implementation mindset. Consistency over complexity. We've now identified the 5 pillars that can fundamentally reshape your vitality. The science is undeniable and the potential benefits are life-changing, but here is where most men fail. They get excited, they buy all 5 powders, they dump a mountain of them into their coffee on Monday morning, they get a stomach ache or they hate the flavor, and by Tuesday they're back to their old routine. Gentlemen, this is not a medication. It is an optimization strategy. And optimization requires patience, consistency, and a personalized approach. You are the scientist, and your body is the lab. We must adopt an implementation mindset, a structured plan to introduce these power-ups slowly and observe the results. I must reiterate this. Do not start with all 5 ingredients at once. More is not better here. Loading your coffee on day 1 will likely cause digestive distress, overwhelm your taste buds, and turn you off the entire process. This isn't about immediate miracles. It's about giving your body the consistent inputs it needs to repair and rebalance systems that have been drifting for decades. That kind of sustainable change takes time. I recommend giving any new ingredient at least 30 days before you decide if it's working or not. To ensure success and minimize digestive issues, I use this simple staggered plan with my patients. Pick 1 ingredient and commit. Week 1, the foundation. Cinnamon.
Start with just 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon every single morning. That's it. Focus on the taste, and more importantly, focus on the energy curve throughout the morning. Are you less prone to the crash at 10:30 a.m.? This is the silent metabolic reset beginning its work. Week 2, the vascular double tap. Add cocoa. If week 1 felt good and you had no digestive complaints, now add 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder alongside your cinnamon. You are now actively stabilizing blood sugar and boosting nitric oxide. This is the ultimate starter combo for vascular health. Notice the subtle uplift in mood and mental clarity. Week 3, the hormonal test. Introduce the powerful adaptogen Maca. Start small, a 1/2 teaspoon 3 times this week. For example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maca's effects build over time, so this is simply a tolerance test. See how it affects your energy and sleep quality. If the flavor is strong, reduce the dose. Week 4, personalization. Now choose either coconut oil, MCT oil, for steady fuel and brain clarity, or fresh ginger for circulation and anti-inflammation. Pick the one that addresses your most pressing symptom beyond energy. If you are mentally foggy, go for the oil. If you have stiff joints and poor circulation, try the ginger. For those who need ultimate simplicity, there are still ways to win. The premix. Buy pre-mixed cinnamon and cocoa. Keep the blend in a small jar by your coffee maker. 1 spoonful in your cup, done. This takes 5 seconds and locks in your vascular and metabolic benefits. The Maca priority. If your biggest struggle is hormonal drive and sustained energy, just focus on a daily teaspoon of black maca. Its flavor mixes well, and the adaptogenic benefits are profound enough to stand alone. You cannot manage what you do not measure. To truly harness the power of this system, you need a simple feedback loop. Dedicate a page in your phone notes or a small notepad on your fridge to track your daily progress. Energy rating. Rate your energy level from 1 to 10 each day. The barometer. Note your morning situations. Was the desire present? Was the function reliable? Wildcard observations. Write down any unusual changes. Better focus at work. Faster recovery after a workout. Less pain in your joints or better sleep. I guarantee that by the end of 1 month, you will see enough positive trends in your tracking to prove that this small daily habit is making a measurable, positive difference in your life. Remember, this isn't a quick fix for a disease. It is a daily investment in your future vitality. To truly hammer this point home, let's look at the stories of men who embraced this gradual, consistent approach. These real-life transformations reveal what it actually feels like to turn the lights back on after years of feeling dim.
Chapter 4. Stories of Reclaimed Vitality, Real-Life Transformations. The science is compelling, but the true measure of success lies in the lives of men who have actually done this. In my practice at Men's Vital Health, I've seen this simple coffee upgrade shift men from resignation to proactive confidence. These case studies prove that consistency, not a single miracle ingredient, is the key. Case study A, Mike, the 58-year-old contractor, beating the crash. Mike ran a busy construction business. His life was defined by long, physically demanding hours, intermittent meals, and high stress, the perfect recipe for chronic metabolic fatigue. His primary complaint wasn't just the unreliable mornings, it was the absolute, debilitating need for a nap right after lunch. He was convinced his work ethic was failing him. Mike started with the simplest plan, cinnamon, pillar 1, in his black coffee for the first 2 weeks. He initially reported little physical change, but by day 10, he noticed he wasn't craving sugary snacks at 11 a.m., and the post-lunch fatigue was less of a sudden, heavy blanket. In week 3, he added unsweetened cocoa, pillar 2. This combination was the turning point. The cocoa's magnesium and flavonoids helped stabilize his nervous system and boost that gentle circulation. Mike told me, "Dr. Carter, I didn't get rid of the fatigue, but it turned into a thought instead of a necessity. I could think, maybe I need a nap, instead of physically collapsing." This is a huge distinction. His body was now running on cleaner fuel, not frantic sugar spikes.
By maintaining this simple 2-ingredient system, Mike not only regained his afternoons, but as a direct result of improved circulation, his mornings felt solid and reliable for the first time in years. He realized his body hadn't failed him, his fuel delivery system had. Case Study B. John, the 54-year-old teacher, fighting the mental fog. John was a middle school teacher, was facing burnout. His job required intense mental focus, but lately, his mind felt trapped in a permanent fog. His energy was low and his libido had completely flatlined. For John, the issue wasn't just physical performance, but a loss of his mental edge. John's primary focus was restoring his nervous system, so we prioritized the adaptogen. He started with yellow maca daily for 8 weeks, combined with the cinnamon and cocoa foundation. Maca's effects were slow but powerful. Week 4, he noticed the first change was improved sleep. He was dropping into a deeper, more restorative rest. Week 7, the mental fog began to lift. He described his clarity during grading periods as the difference between looking through a clean window and looking through a dirty one. Week 10, the hormonal rebalancing finally manifested. John came back to me beaming, saying, "It was like someone turned the lights back on upstairs." The desire returned, which, combined with the better circulation from the cocoa, resulted in a reliable return of function. The success was holistic. Better mood led to better sleep, which led to better hormone production, which supported performance. Case Study C. Richard, the 62-year-old military retiree. Richard had multiple age-related issues: mild joint stiffness, high cholesterol, and low T levels. He was skeptical, but committed to a holistic approach. Given his issues with inflammation, he prioritized ginger, pillar 5, and MCT oil, pillar 4. He blended his coffee with ginger, cinnamon, and MCT oil. The immediate effect was the steady, warm energy and the elimination of the caffeine jitters. However, the MCT oil initially caused some minor digestive upset, a common issue when starting high fat, so he backed off and gradually built the dose back up. The breakthrough came at month 3. Richard reported that his chronic knee stiffness was measurably better thanks to the anti-inflammatory power of the ginger. Most importantly, his doctor reported a modest improvement in his testosterone lab results after several months of consistent fat and ginger intake. This story underscores the core philosophy. By treating the whole system, reducing inflammation, providing good fuel, and stabilizing energy, the body naturally allocates resources back to higher-level functions. Richard's primary goal wasn't performance, but by achieving better metabolic and joint health, the confidence, drive, and physical readiness naturally returned. These stories prove that vitality is not a matter of luck or expense, it is a matter of consistent, small, intelligent inputs. We are now ready to summarize the final rules of engagement and the single most important commitment you must make to truly reclaim your prime. We've dissected the science, we've learned the methodology, and we've seen the real-world proof. You now have the full strategy to transform your daily coffee ritual into a powerful tool for vascular, metabolic, and hormonal health. But before we sign off, I need to leave you with 3 essential lessons that define the difference between a temporary experiment and a profound, sustainable life change. Final lesson 1. This is optimization, not medication. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. These ingredients are not a cure, and they are not a replacement for medical advice. If you are dealing with serious health conditions, diagnosed heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, or severe erectile dysfunction, you must see your doctor. What we are doing here at Men's Vital Health is optimization. We are working at the cellular level, providing the best possible environment for your body to naturally function at its highest capacity. Medications treat the symptom. These natural pillars support the foundation. Never confuse the two. If you are on blood thinners, for example, you must consult your physician before adding ginger. If you have any hormone-sensitive cancers, consult your doctor before using Maca. Be smart, be proactive, but always be informed by a professional. Furthermore, recognize that you must avoid the sugary trap. Any ingredient you add must be pure. Sweetened cocoa powder, cinnamon sugar, or candied ginger will utterly destroy the metabolic benefits we are trying to achieve. Remember, we are trying to help your blood sugar, not spike it. The whole purpose of Pillar 1, cinnamon, is defeated if you are adding refined sugar to your coffee. Keep it clean, use natural sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit if you need them, but keep the sugar out. Final lesson 2. The erection is a barometer, not the goal. Many men come to me focused solely on the physical mechanics of performance. While that is a valid and important goal, I want you to shift your perspective. The true success of this protocol is the systemic revitalization, the return of your drive, your mental clarity, your stable energy, and your deep, restorative sleep. The return of reliable function is simply the barometer, the clearest, most undeniable sign that your circulatory system is cleaner, your hormonal signaling is balanced, and your overall vitality is surging. When my patient, Arthur, the 71-year-old professor, experienced his unnecessary surprise, it wasn't because the ginger magically targeted his blood flow. It was because the ginger reduced systemic inflammation, the cinnamon stabilized his metabolism, and the cocoa improved his sleep. By achieving better health across the board, the body was confident enough to restore the higher, non-essential function. Focus on the feeling of being switched on again, the confidence, the clarity, the sustained energy, and the physical performance will follow naturally. Final lesson 3, the power of the consistent ritual. True mastery in health, as in any endeavor, lies in consistency. Your body doesn't respond to a frantic burst of effort one day a month. It responds to the unyielding, predictable input that reinforces positive change every single day. Your morning coffee is the most powerful vehicle for this consistency. It's non-negotiable, it's automatic, and it's routine. By simply deciding to stir in 1 or 2 of these powerful pillars every morning without fail, you are sending a powerful, positive signal to your body. I am investing in my vitality today. It doesn't have to be perfect. On busy weekday mornings, stick to the cinnamon and cocoa premix. On a slower weekend, take the extra minute to blend in the MCT oil for that premium, creamy experience. The difference between the man who succeeds and the man who gives up is simply the man who makes it a non-negotiable part of his daily routine. You don't have to accept decline as the normal fate of aging. Your body is a machine of amazing resilience, and sometimes all it needs is the right fuel and the right signal to remind it how to run at its peak. Gentlemen, you have the information. Now, the power is literally in your hands. I challenge you to stop making excuses and start making progress. Take the 4-week staggered introduction plan and choose one ingredient. I strongly suggest starting with Ceylon cinnamon and commit to adding it to your coffee every morning for the next 30 days. That's your first step. It is small, it is inexpensive, and it is a commitment to yourself. This is Men's Vital Health, and our mission is to provide you with the practical, science-backed knowledge to live your prime, no matter your age. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know, what do you currently put in your coffee, and which of the 5 pillars, cinnamon, cocoa, maca, MCT oil, or ginger, will you be starting with tomorrow morning? Your experience, your success story, or even your simple question could be the exact piece of motivation another guy needs to take his first step. If this video helped you feel informed, empowered, and ready to take action, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss our next video on Real Talk Men's Health. Remember, you are not defined by your age. You are defined by your choices. Choose vitality, choose strength, choose consistency. Until next time, this is Dr. Emily Carter, reminding you that the journey back to feeling like your best self starts with the smallest, most consistent change. Stay
Stay strong, gentlemen.